all of you in terms of this discussion is as it relates to private devices. And I think there's a simple solution. Supervisor Miller, are you willing to provide that information or those devices to comply with the request?
Madam Chair, I will provide any records that are related to county business. And we have today
on your private devices.
Any records that are related to private business whatsoever will be provided.
County business.
To county business, I'm sorry, will be provided.
In electronic form as requested?
As people may or may not know, we have provided almost 7,000 pages of documents. Our first request came in on May 20th. It has taken us approximately 13.7 business days on average to turn around these. We have a few more to complete. We've got to provide our Facebook and Twitter account, and those will be provided in any public or any county business on my personal email. I can't speak for other people in my office. Obviously, I can't control their personal devices, but anything that I have on my personal devices will be turned over.
Madam Chair.
Thank you, Supervisor Miller.
That wasn't very clear for what I think is the question on that. Madam Chair and Supervisor Miller.
Madam Chair, I am not going to be interrogated by Supervisor Carroll. I've answered the question. I said I will provide any and all records that are related to county business.
That's clear.
Way to go. Thank you. That's
I think that
but I'm not. I was going to say, in all due respect, I've had information from the press. They've shared with me as of this morning, as of yesterday, as of going back all the way to May 18th, I think was the first request. And the first request comes from your local independent online news service. I think that they're not a partisan group. This is not some trumped up attack by the Tucson Sentinel. They've sent me information requesting my emails, etc. I've provided them to them. But the response came back that they believe, and other media sources as well, and I have the, it's not an interrogation, it's just a submittal of evidence, I hope, to show that you are using your personal computers on public business, which is taxpayers paying for things like looking for jobs, or working on your school board campaign, etc. All this is already on the record. This has already been collected and has been produced because simply you missed redacting the emails with your personal addresses on your emails. So I asked Sherry Potter this morning if this is her email, and on this page, and it's slpotter -- what have you in her Gmail. And then I also have Tim's Politics, his personal email here listed. I have JDFCDC, again, that's Joanne DiFilippo, who I understand is an employee of Supervisor Miller in District 1. And then I have Supervisor Miller's personal email. All this is talking about a press release that they were all working on about the ordinance on the medians, which I can show you right here. It's verbatim, folks, and you know, I got this back from the media because there's an elephant in the room here. Back in mid-May, Tim DeHarlay called my office asking to get on my email account to try to get information on how I feel about Supervisor Miller's road plan or any other thing that she'll put out in the public perspective for us to have comments on. I welcome that. That would be fine. Mr. DeHarlay, AKA at the time Jim Falcon, I don't think Jim Falcon is here this now, but you can confirm that I responded on my email, I sent it to you, that sure, you're welcome to be copied on my newsletters and any comments I might have.
Madam Chair, this is inappropriate to be
It's not germane to the issue.
You've attacked him plenty, Supervisor Miller. Trust me, I've read
but your
your
particular comment isn't germane to the discussion here.
My comment is germane because what we have is public time spent on personal issues, and we have personal time on public issues.
That's not the issue at hand. The issue at hand is the documents requested by the media related to Supervisor Miller's
Right.
employee as it relates to
And they're
the
asking-
the Daily Herald. So,
I agree, but they are asking if this has ever happened. And let me just show you another email
no,
that came
I
out.
think that we need to stick to the record.
Well,
to
when
what-
people say they're not using their cell phones or smartphones, I'm telling you, I won't accept that as the truth.
Well, I don't think that anybody has
And
said
I
that
think the
today.
board should not allow any further stonewalling of the records requests that are being put in. And I think we need to act quickly
There
before
is a
we get
motion,
sued.
there is a motion on the floor. Supervisor Miller has indicated she will comply with the request from the media regarding,
But she's
conducting
stonewalling
county-
on the employees that she has employed by her, getting taxpayer dollars to work in her office.
she
that are
is
working
going to
on personal
comply.
things.
Her employees will be asked to comply. I don't think she can particularly speak to each employee, although she has
She did
indicated
this
her
morning.
willingness to ask her employees to comply. I believe that's correct. Is that not correct, Ms. Supervisor?
Listen,
Okay.
she's responded to the clerk of the
And
board
then-
that they do not
Supervisor,
have county cell phones and do not use private cell
Point
phones,
of order,
smartphones, or
Madam
private
Chair.
emails for
Point.
county business, which is a lie. Because they do, I have proof of
Supervisor,
that.
this is not a court of law. The issue here is the release of the documents.
I am
It's requested.
producing what I think is an important message to this board, which is we need to comply with these public requests. We need
And
to
I
stop
think-
stonewalling. We need to turn over the
I
information.
think that that's
Before
what
the
this board
recourse
has
that they
said.
have hits us for all the costs of a lawsuit and their time. If Supervisor Miller has produced hours and proof of her hours spent, believe me, the clerk of the board's got plenty of hours as well, and days of county workers' time. And these members of the press have spent hours and hours and days of their workforce's time. So I'd like to see it brought to a conclusion. I think this is an embarrassing
And
situation
I
because
think
of
that's
one
motion.
supervisor stonewalling and protecting themselves at the expense of the public trust and the public coffers.
Thank you, Supervisor. I think that there's